be very sure you are following. So always apply the minimum rules. Continue. And then, no. Let them see landscape. Raphael, landscape.
Oh, landscape. Oh.
People who make it. Yeah, so, yes, continue. Yes, and then also by the use of gestures, clarifying using questions. Acknowledge, and this one I have said several. If Teresa wakes up and shares something, acknowledge and tell Teresa. It is normal. Every other human being would feel the same. I will acknowledge that moment. I acknowledge your anger. I acknowledge the pains that you are going through. Because we are human beings. And she has a right to share that feeling. Because for sure, that's where she is. Now, normalize. Once you acknowledge, you do what? You normalize. Because the moment you acknowledge her emotion, and you tell her, every other person would feel the same. Have you normalized? Yes. Then, emphasizing. This one, we don't need to speak so much about it. We've captured that out. You really need to have a level of empathy when you are dealing with your clients. But we were told that we should call them the parties. Then we come to, you use emphatic statements like,
you use empathetic statements like, I wonder what this makes you feel. Did I hear you say? Sort of you are saying.
yes.
Correct me if I am wrong, but I get it from you that in empathy, you refrain from blaming and judgmental language, soliciting, e.g., soliciting advice on the potentially acceptable solution, e.g., tell me more about what you want, what would you like to see happen?
Thank you. Very true. Yeah, if we can take the case of the role of Wambui. Yeah. Tell me more about what you want. And we also saw it in the beer role play. What would you want? Tell me more about that. You are soliciting some information. You are not investigating. But when this person shares more, you are able to understand what they want. And that will help you also to approach the other party in a more knowledgeable way. Take an example of Kamau and Atieno. There was a possibility of the mediator trying to find out from Atieno, tell me more about the amount that you are requesting to be paid by Kamau. How are you arriving at this figure? Also to Kamau. So these are the statements that you use. You may not have so many, but if you can work with the ones that we have given you, I think that will be better. And as you move along, you can still get others. Is it online? Is it from books? And also your own creativity in order for you to help your clients.
Agree, I really agree with you. Supplementing, e.g., instead of yes, but say yes and. This converts adversaries to allies. Inviting elaboration, this is through questions, open-ended, listening with the heart, listening beyond what has been verbalized, picking the hunches, other communication skills used in negotiation, note-taking, silence, reality check, ask questions, e.g., what do you feel are the strength of your case?
Yes. Yeah, so we are saying, remember we have talked about commenting a lot. When you agree, don't just say yes or you just nod. I agree with you. However, what else? would you want in this situation? So you are supplementing. You don't only say yes and you stop at that point. Because when the person has come up with supplementary information, at that point again, you are also learning how you can approach the other party. Inviting elaboration, that is through open-ended questions. The questions whereby the party will not just give one answer and then they keep quiet. They will have an explanation. What do you think, what would you want in this situation? Then the person is able to explain. That is what we call the open-ended question. We are talking about listening with the heart. You listen beyond what has been verbalized and you pick the hand chase. You know, there are some instances whereby you are able to pick something out of what the person is saying, beyond the words. That again brings you to the concept of active listening with the heart. Then we are saying other communication skills used in negotiation, note taking. And we say, please don't carry a very small book that cannot be seen. Like can just carry something that looks like you are a mediator. Please don't go with one pen that refuses to write and then you start borrowing from the members because yours is not writing. Can you have more than 4 pens such that if one fails to write, you can always exchange? With a clean, a big, and a presentable notebook. Is it a diary? It can be a diary, it can be a notebook or anything. Silence, I've talked about that. It's a skill. Allow silence, but it should not prolong. We've said if it prolongs, you have some skills on how to address that. So, going by what you agreed with your parties at the beginning. Then we have the reality check. Ask questions. What do you feel are the strengths of their case? Yes, now, when you go with the person, among the parties for caucus, try to pick from them what makes you think if we present this to the other party, they are likely to agree. You see? Also, that is what we mean by the strengths of them. In order for you also to show them why they are not likely to get it their way. You give options in the caucus, but you only do that mostly in the caucus. So we come to our last script on communication. We call it emotional intelligence. Very key. Emotions will always arise. And you need to be intelligent when you're dealing with the emotions of people. Without forgetting that we also have our emotions and we need to deal with them even before we deal with the emotion of other people. Please don't write too much. We shall send you the notes. So, and once again,
what is EI? That is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is defined as the ability to recognize your emotions as well as the emotions of others, understand powerful effect of emotions, use information to guide thinking and behavior.
Yes, emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize your emotions. There is no way on how you are able to deal with the emotions of other people and you are not able to deal with your emotions. All things starts with you. So which emotions are these? The way you get angry. Sometimes you can become jealous. Other times you can become fearful. You can be hurt. Those are some of the emotions. And they will still play a part when you are doing your mediation in the lives of your the parties. So, signs.
Signs of high emotional intelligence: handles criticism without denial, blame, excuses. Signs of high emotional intelligence: open-minded, good listener, does not sugarcoat the truth, apologizes when wrong.
Yeah, so have you ever thought about this? That any time when you have issues without criticism, you don't you accept the blame, you don't give excuses, you have open mind, you are a good listener, you don't sugarcoat. All these things leads you to a high level of emotional intelligence. Do you know that? Yes. When you accept that you can make mistakes, when you can say sorry, like one boy, actually the mediator should have told her, I really appreciate you for accepting that these are not going on well. That's a sign of a high emotional intelligence. Yes. But many times we tell ourselves, no, I'm failing. If I will accept that, I'm not the one. So let's see on the person who has low emotional intelligence.
Low emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
On the flip side, if you have a low degree of emotional intelligence, no self-awareness, no empathy, only obvious to all emotions and emotions of others.
Self-awareness. Self-awareness. Are you aware of yourselves? Are you aware of how you do things? Because when you are aware of that, you possess a very high level of emotional and you will not be shaken by whatever you say. And I actually say also, you need to understand how you speak. See, nowadays we have phones. You have the phones. You can take yourself, go and listen. Find out whether you speak without commas and full stops, whether you speak or you scream. Then slowly by slowly you are able to do what? Yourself. In order for you to build your emotional intelligence, and more so a high one. Yes?
You have to know how to react and respond emotionally. As a leader, team member, whatever your role, friend, wife, husband, parent, higher emotional intelligence, you will be able to react better. Lower emotional intelligence, harder.
Thank you. So, in most of the times, the reason is why we create issues. We have issues with other people. It is because our level of emotional intelligence is low. Am I supposed to have any issue with a person when you tell me that I am short? So that means I'm aware of my
Yourself.
So when you are aware of yourself, it helps you in your emotional intelligence. It helps you in many things. You need to be aware that you also get angry, and how do you deal with your anger, such that when you tell me, anger, you'll come to the rest for sure, I get angry. However, I'm able to deal with my issues. So self-awareness is very important. And also to you, as a mediator, such that when some of these things crop up, to the parties that will be mediating, they will never be a ready condition. Sindio? Waswa. Tutaambiwa na wewe. Ama yule Mkikuyu. Sindio? Ama yule anavaa miwani. Sindio? Ama yule, you know something, So be aware, self-aware is very important. It liberates you and it gives you freedom also to be yourself. Now, it is summed up, emotional intelligence is summed up by those 5 factors. And as you can see, the baby is not ready from your head. We have the self-awareness. This is key. Not only to a mediator, but now because you're training for mediation, even in your profession as a teacher, as a nurse, whatever you do, at the self-awareness, you need to have emotional connection. Have a connection with yourself, with your emotions. Which connection am I doing? For sure, I know this is not the best thing. However, whatever has happened can only make me angry for now. But is there a remedy? Self-acceptance. You know, sometimes you don't accept it the way we are. You need to accept yourself. In order for you to accept others, remember we are saying, when you do all this to yourself, also to the other people, it will be very easy. You will accept people as they come to you. Self-esteem. Who gives you the self-esteem? Yourself. And where does it come from? From the inner me. Meaning, who you are done will give me the esteem. Who do I tell myself? Who am I? You see? Because it will give me the esteem of walking with my shoulders high, not because I'm proud, but just because I'm beautiful and wonderfully made. See, I believe in that because we say you give yourself hope. See, if you say I'm beautiful and wonderfully made, I give myself hope. Because I'm not likely to hear that from anybody else. Sadly. Nobody is likely to tell me that. True? But I can tell myself. Confidence. The reason as to why I'm starting here is because I'm confident. You can have the content and lack the confidence. However, both go hand in hand. Even in that mediation, what skills have you obtained? Do you feel like you are good to do a mediation? It's also another factor. Then self-assessment. Learn to assess yourself. Learn to assess yourself. Have I done it well? Am I in for this task? Yes or no? Self-management. You need to be assertive. I say that when you are dealing with the parties, because others can come to trouble you, just to ensure that you are not going anywhere, you need assertiveness. Self-control. Please don't allow your emotions to flare up. Because Teresa or the other party, they are really getting into your nerves. Learn to control yourself. Because you know, emotions only come to people. And at any given time, they will. Trustworthiness. Can you be trusted? That when you tell them we are supposed to meet at 9, you are not coming at 11 with apologies. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bored. You come with apologies. However, they cannot clear from the room because they are waiting for the mediator. Can you be trusted? Adaptability. Remember, we were in the other place, which was not very conducive. But we really adapted to the environment, true or false. And we were also ready to adapt after the last day. Can you adapt to the environment? How? It is not in every place whereby you will be getting a conducive environment to do your mediation. And especially if you are going for a private mediation. Also some courts, they are not very conducive. They are not very good. But can you adapt? Planning. When you fail to plan, you plan to do it. Plan your time well. Plan your sessions well. Plan your days well to ensure that you're not getting mixed up in your character or what you are supposed to do. You need to also have something to do with energizers. Around time for the parties to go out for a short break, for the washrooms or maybe to take medication, depending on the parties that are before you. Motivation. Is there something that you can tell them as a source of motivation? Maybe it's a case that was there and it can motivate them. You see? You need to be initiative, an initiator. Creativity. There's something that you can initiate, just like the way the role play that, I mean the clip that we watched. The mediator initiated and brought up the issue of beer distribution from his own imagination, and it finally helped in the mediation. Resilience. You really need to be resilient with the people. Others may not give you an easy time. Others may fail to come. But you are always resilient with them, following up on them, just to ensure that the mediation process will be successful. You know, resilient means some people push you to the wall, but you still feel you have some energy to do what? To move on. Attitude. Work on your attitude. Please don't show that biasness. Don't show a dislike. Hivi huyo hata nilimchukia alipofanya nini? Alipoingia. Because remember, a negative attitude will reflect at the outside. See, you will be seen. What about your engagement? You need to be engaged for the whole session. Did you agree that you will be there for enough hours? Be faithful to that engagement. We also have the social awareness. We've talked so much about empathy. Social responsibility. Remember, you are dealing with the parties. And these parties, they have families. They come from the community. You have a social responsibility to always help people know why mediation is doing. Settle their issues without incurring a lot of expenses, without wasting a lot of potential and resources going all over in courts. Remember the other day, a high court was opened in the city of a court of appeal. Sorry, it's a court of appeal. Why? And I heard Justice Mother say, all the people from Western, from Samburu, from all over, they will not be going to Nairobi. Did you hear that? They will now be coming to. So, mediation is also another way of making people not waste a lot of resources in terms of money and also time, because they can do it from their occasions. We also have communication, rapport, tolerance. You need to tolerate people. It's not easy to deal with people. However, you can train yourself. And especially issues of persuasiveness. When you are persuading people to come to an agreement, to come to terms with the issue before them, it is not easy. Then finally, we have the relation management. It's a teamwork. You cannot enter into an agreement only with one party. You need to work as a team. So all the parties plus yourself. In a way. Then you also need collaboration. You also need conflict management skills and leadership. Why are you here? We are now empowering you with the conflict management skills. And remember, in that mediation, who will offer leadership? It's you. So, and again, when you offer that leadership, you are not there to exercise, to show that you are the leader, but you are just reading the group in order for it to have an order and be able to enter into an agreement. So you need to have a very high level of emotional intelligence. And I have said, this will not be an issue, even in our workplaces, even in our families, even with the people around us. With a very high level of emotional intelligence, we shall be able to deal with our issues and the issues of other people appropriately. Yes. You can proceed.